permit me to stand on existing protocol. However, specifically, let me appreciate the leadership of Lagelu and District Society, especially our inaugural chairman, Chief Mrs. Omokemi Oladipo. And I want to appreciate the technical committee also, Dr. Oluwasegun Odebunmi, FCA, who is a general secretary, and then Mr. Damilola Osutubo, ACA, who is the technical secretary. I want to appreciate every one of them for making this possible this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program, and I appreciate you for coming out this evening. I need to share my screen. So please, when you see the screen, kindly let me know.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
You can see it.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I'm going to read this statement, and I want anyone to tell me if he or she can remember when this statement was made. Subsidy can no longer justify its ever-increasing cost in the wake of drying resources. We shall instead rechannel the funds into better investments in public infrastructure, education, healthcare, jobs that will materially improve the lives of millions. I don't know if anybody remembers when this statement was made and who actually made this statement. I will really appreciate if anyone can tell us where this statement was made. Anybody? Anybody? You can unmute. You can mute your mic. You can unmute your mic.
Mr. Damilare, please, can you repeat the quote?
Oh, okay. Subsidy can no longer justify its ever-increasing cost in the wake of drying resources. We shall instead rechannel the funds into better investment in public infrastructure, education, healthcare, jobs that will materially improve the lives of millions. Anybody who made this statement, and when was it made?
I think this statement was made by the President Bola Tinubu. He made that statement before the subsidy was removed, after he came into power.
Yeah, I think he made a statement at his inauguration, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That is a fantastic response. This statement was actually made on the 29th of May 2023 by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which peace rightly said. However, a lot of Nigerians will not remember this statement. What I'm saying this is that the only thing we remember that overshadow everything is said on that day is subsidy is gone. And from that moment, I remember I was in Osun State trying to come back to Lagos, and almost immediately the fuel price changed. Almost immediately, it went from 187 naira to 400 naira. So this actually made it difficult for everybody that have planned for 2025, 2023, and 2024 to be say correct in some way. Nobody ever saw it coming that subsidy, even when it is gone, we actually impact our lives to the extent to which it has impacted us today. And this had actually made planning more difficult. Financial modelers could not foresee saying fair price will go as high as 1,000. And the float of naira will go as, exchange rate will go as high as almost 2,000 in 2023. However, this is our reality today, and that is one of the reasons why this topic is very, very germane. Effectively managing household financial resources, we can never overemphasize this, because if we don't manage our financial resources, we will never make headway in our finances. right? So of course, personal finance, everybody look at it on how to budget. Everybody thinks of budget. Anybody thinks of savings, or everyone thinks of say investments or what have you. However, if you think in this line, you are right. Personal finance, I can say it is from it is all these things that I've mentioned so far are subsets of personal finance, whether budgeting, whether savings, income, investments, um, just mention it, just name it. However, this discussion will center around the family income, will center around budget, savings, investment. Particularly, we talk much around investments, around insurance. We talk much around debt and debt management and estate planning, which is and then sorry, something is I can hear. Is it from my end? Okay. So we center around investment, insurance, debt management, and estate planning. So because no man is an island of knowledge, I will be facilitating this session, and I believe that every one of us, of course, will be joining me in facilitating this session. I want this class to be interactive. I want everyone to contribute, especially through the chat room. So whenever we mention or whenever we made a statement that sorry, somebody is not muting. So whenever we made a particular statement that gets to you, which is called Eureka moment, you can put it in the chat box for us all to learn, right? And again, in the course of this program, in the course of this session, I'll be referring to external materials and permit me to mention the names of the publishers, especially materials from Carrywise, materials from ABN Quest and Security, ABN Quest Merchant Bank, ABN Quest Security, and of course, other external resource I'll be looking out to them. So what is the purpose of our meeting to this evening? You know that we need to have actionable financial strategy to manage our financial resources. Our financial resources are somewhat not so great as it were. And then common challenges that we are facing in the country is hyperinflation, currency depreciation, and every day our purchasing power is reducing. So this session is going to enable us to have some actionable, whether those ones that you are familiar with or those ones that you are not familiar with. But it's going to get us to have some hands-on experience and get our hands dirty, get our minds also dirty around this, and to be able to, going forward, manage our financial resources better, right? So we want to talk about family income. Family income generally is the lifeblood on which everything rests. Income. It is a variable. So what do I mean by it is a variable? It means that it can increase. And to some extent, if you are an entrepreneur, and then, well, even if you are a salary earner, as a result of changing jobs or what have you, it can also reduce. So it can be influenced by unforeseen circumstances, whether planned for, non-planned for, right? So, but a lot of things are actually fighting to get a share of this income. Income is just one variable that every other things depends on. So as you can see from the slide, we have savings, we have investment, education, health, debt, general expenses, wealth, even hobbies. Everything depends on our income. It now means that, you know, if you have a funnel and you turn it over, it is called inverted funnel, right? So income is coming through that small hole of the funnel and it's going down to the base that is wider, right? So it means a lot of things. And that is why when we are distributing our income, some of these things may not enjoy their share. They may be starved from our lifestyles, from the way we share them and the likes. So permit me to share, as I said, that I'll be sharing a lot of things with us. Permit us, let us look at one statistics around income, right? Let's check something around income. It's coming up. I hope I'm sharing the right thing. Yeah, I think it's up now.
Yes, we can see.
Yeah. So here we can see that this is talking about income distribution in Nigeria, how people earn money in Nigeria. The people that believe that people that we believe that are the upper side of the radar in Nigeria is these people who earns averagely 4 million in a month, right? So majority of us in Nigeria, we are around this. It means that majority of us earn less than 400,000 in a month, right? We earn less than 400,000. That is 40% middle class, 50% bottom, and less than 400. So, and this is where these people that are here, or some of us, or all of us that are here, let me put it, all of us that are here, we have unlimited wants. Of course, from basic economics, we have unlimited wants, and then it is almost a form of headache for us on how to segregate, how to distribute our income into this bucket, how to make our income more enough for us, how to ensure that we don't run into unnecessary debt, how to even go out of the debt that we have found ourselves in. So this is one of those challenges we face. It is not equal. Income is not equal. That is why we have what is called inequality income in the country. So say, but however, some people have a lot and they can spend it anyhow. So there are two ways we can boost our income. Everybody says is that you increase your income by, say, you have some kind of level of skills, when you have a higher level of skills, or when you get a new job, or when you had a side also, a side business. Of course, this is very valid. And some people say that one of those ways to increase your income is to reduce your debt and reduce your expenditure. Reduce. Just cut your clothes, not according to your size, but according to the type of the yard of clothes you have. So it is no longer your size, because sometimes 6 years you may be told by your tailor to use 6 years to make buba and sokoto, for instance, but you don't have up to 6 years. So you need to cut that cloth according to the number of years of material that you have. So, take for instance, there is this news that came out of recent, I think around February or March. It's talking about adult economy in Lagos, whereby a set of people spent around 661 billion naira last year, right? For, let me call it, pleasure. And of course, a lot of people are making money around that side. But what actually got to me here is not, I don't think I wanted to, trying to share, but I think it's, oh, okay. What actually got to me around here is not the business itself, is the surrounding business around the business. So it is the surrounding business around the business, whereby when people have posited that you can make money, is that if you want to increase your income, you should have side hustle, or you should increase your ability to earn more. Yes, which are valid. So The surrounding business around this business are something like selling wigs, you sell pastries, you go into say Uber driving and the likes. Especially, let me talk about around that Uber driving, especially if you're in Lagos, Port Harcourt, I think Abuja, yes, Abuja and the Lagos, and then you have your personal vehicle and you are driving say 20 kilometer distance from work to office almost every day. This is avenue for you. You don't need to actually spend money on fuel, right? You don't need to spend money on vehicle maintenance. Why not go on, say, for instance, Bolt platform, Uber platform, InDrive, Rider platform, register on these platforms. And then, who knows, you can see one of very neighbor that is not far from you, like say 1 or 2 kilometers from you, that is going the same way that you are going, and then you charge the person that amount on that particular app, and then at the end of the day, you'll be rewarded for your efforts, because at least you are getting somebody to get to his or her destination, and then this person is going your way. Why burning fuel when you can actually help somebody and get paid for it? By so doing, in one way or the other, you reduce your expense, that is fuel, vehicle maintenance, and also you increase your income, right? So I believe that if you check through your household, your home, you get to see things that are lying value that you think you can turn to money, right? Things are just taking unnecessary space in your house. And one of those things I've just made, one of them is your vehicle that is taking money out of your pocket, going to work every day, coming to work from work every day, only you in the car, blowing the AC and blowing bedroom jams. You're enjoying the end of your life. At the end of the day, you have a bill that is killing the minimum, that is killing the small income you are earning. So look at your home, look around. What are these things that are actually taking space that you need to discard, right? To earn more money. Yes. So you see common challenges that are facing us today. Of course, we know currency depreciation. This is actually has impacted us on how to plan. So yesterday, you go to the market to window shop. I want to buy, say for instance, solar panel, and it's called 130,000 naira per panel, a particular type. And today you go to the same markets, they don't tell you that is 150 something thousand. You ask, what has happened between say last Friday and this Monday morning? They say it's dollar. So because dollar is increasing, or it's not stable, let me put it that way. It's not always increasing, it's not stable. Exchange rate is not stable. So this has impacted us on how to plan, and it's very challenge. It's a common challenge to our income. Hyperinflation has also always reducing our purchasing power. Our mindset too. People believe that is some people, they believe that they are, well, as long as you are in Nigeria, as long as someone is in Nigeria, that person may not be prosper, right? Or may not be prosperous. Let me put it that way, right? And of course, let me run to a greener pasture. Hey, let me tell you, no land, no land under the sun that has no poor people. No land, no nation, no country, no continent. Everywhere, every land has poor people that needs the attention, or that needs, let me say, and even handouts from other people, even from government. So the mindset some of us are carrying to say a similar place of greener pasture. Why don't we have that kind of mindset of abundance in Nigeria, where we are saying, I have this in my hand, how can I multiply it? And this meeting is one of the way is going to show us one of the ways to multiply whatsoever you have in your hand. So let's dive right into it. We have budget. So when we talk about personal finance, one thing at the as a bedrock of it all is budget. So, but before you budget, you need to understand things around budget, right? You need to understand income and expenditure. So, look around you. What constitutes income to you? What constitutes income to you, and what constitutes expenditure to you? So, some expenses are very, or expenditure are kind of fixed, while some are variables. They can go up today, they can come down tomorrow. Some income are just fixed, like salary. If you have salary for it may be fixed for some time, say a year, it may be fixed, it may be variable for some time. So it's a mixed, it's like a mixed what's it called? A mixed variable. So some can be bonus, gift, or other earnings from dividend and the likes. So we have, you should understand your assets too. Your house is your asset, and it can become a liability, depends on how you use it. Your car is also an asset to me, and it can become a liability. Why do I say your car is an asset? Your car is an asset. Say, for instance, you have a car, you already have a car. In Nigeria, the value of your car is adjusting to inflation. Anything that is adjusting to inflation is an asset. Anything that can improve as time goes on with inflation. Say you buy a Tokumbo car in 2021, 2022, 2023, even any part of 2023. The price at which you bought it then is, say, even if it's coming to a level, you bought it around 3-4 million naira. If you want to sell the same car now, right? You can't sell less than 5-6 million Nigeria use. The same car you bought for 3 to 4 million naira. So there is a way that all these things just reprice themselves. And car, which we also usually thought to be a liability now, and has now become an asset. However, there's a way you can even make your car a much more asset, which I've explained earlier on. And also, if you are the only one that is taking all this expenditure of your car every day, and it's now becoming, your car has now deep a hole in your pocket. Now it's not becoming a liability to you. Contingencies. What do I mean by contingencies? Is a liability when you say you do a guarantor for someone that is borrowing money from LACO, for instance. It is a contingency. It's going to become a liability when the person defaults and refuses to pay, right? So you should just understand where liabilities are coming. Anything that will take money out of you in the near future, whether today or tomorrow, is just liability. Then you should understand your relationship. Which relationship can make you money? Which relationship can improve your wealth? Which relationship can add to your financial status? You know, sir, there are some people that you can just stay around them and become wealthy, right? So I was listening to Cosmas the other time. The owner of Costaris was talking about how if Dangote says somebody should go and pick up a car, let's say Range Rover, for instance, in their stores, and Dangote put a call, say, and the one that says the person should pick up a car. He said that they will release the car to the person. Why? Because they believe in the person of Dangote. So for Dangote to advise for somebody to pick up a car in a particular store, it means that they have a particular relationship. Then who is your relationship? Relationship can be a form of liability or assets to you. So you should set financial goals. Understand your cash flows. How often do you need money? Do you need cash running? See, money, something you should understand about money is that money is a current. It flows. And when money is not flowing, that is when we say we are broke. And that is when we say we experience some kind of poverty or whatever. But there is a way even if you don't have much, there is a way you make money to continuously flow around you. Me, I actually get to know, I actually look at people, I get to know how people treat money, for instance. Say, for instance, I give you a name note, a mint note now, and you immediately fold it in eight places, just fold it. I begin to have a second doubt about you on your relationship with money, or I give you money and you immediately squeeze it. There is a way that we make money, and then we treat money, and then maybe it flies away, maybe it comes back, maybe it stays. It depends on you. But I believe that our relationship with money we let money to want to stay with us, right? Yoruba say if you use 10 fingers to eat, then you will not have you not be able to gather things together. So if you are eating, this is 10 fingers. If you are eating like this, you not have any other finger to gather and make a heap, right? So that is talking about your relationship. Then you have to have a budget plan, you have to have a financial goals, you have to adjust when necessary, right? This is something that you should know around budgeting. Then something happens in budget. You should understand your transitory activities, whether that's transitory income or transitory expenditure. Transit, something in passing, right? So you may say for instance, you are standing in front of your house and some people are passing on the street. So they are in transit, right? There are some things that may be in transit. Some people may be passing in front of your street, and let me use this word, branch to your house and greet you and discuss with you. So if you have an interesting thing to discuss, the person may stay longer than the person planned. But if you don't have an interesting thing to discuss, the person may quickly just say hi, breathe in and breathe out, and just go. Now, if you have a transit income and some kind of income that usually floats like that, they just come, they are passing through your house, and they just say, let me sharply lodge here. You need to find a means of, grabbing them and key them down so that they won't go. So some transit income and somebody dash you something or gifts or give you some kind of gifts, right? Like windfall income, you're not expecting it, windfall profit, like what the banking sector experienced last year and 2 years ago. Media reporting, right? Dividend also, you don't expect this company that you have already invested in to pay much dividend, and they actually pay more. What can we do? Some people can say, since all this transit income are just coming in, let me just borrow. It is not time to borrow, my brother. It is time to think. It is time to plan. It is time to tie it down. So, on your budget, you have to, some financial goals could be short-term goals, long-term goals, medium-term goals. So, it depends on what do you think, how do you think. So, see, your identity is talking about shifting your focus from what you want to achieve to who you want to become. Do you want to become financially stable and financially secure, or do you want to just have money? So some people just want to have money. It's different. So financial stability and financial security is there for just having money. Now, of course, some people have money today and tomorrow, of course, they don't have money. So your identity will determine the process that you are going to implement, the system you are going to implement to get to the goals or to your vision, right? So you have to align your habit with your desired identity. What's your habit? You don't use 10 fingers to eat if your habit is to become financially stable. You don't use your 10 fingers to eat if your person is to be known as somebody that is financially secured, right? So you focus on effective system that will just help you to enjoy this, to achieve this seamlessly. So we get to talk about this budget. What are the benefits? Look, I need to comment me. Sometimes some people say that chew a lot so that you believe in God, that God will bite a lot so that you believe in God, that God will help you to chew it. Like you bite a lot, mouth full, and to the extent that you be your ICB, and then you trust God that God will help you to chew it. Yeah, it happens, right? But budget helps you to prioritize, right? It helps you to prioritize. So budget is not really limiting God. For some of us that are kind of that, or for all of us, or some of us that are spiritual, budget is not really limiting God, the ability of God to do much more. It just means you are being prudent with what you have so that you can be self-sufficient. So budget is one just make you to believe in yourself through God that has empowered you to be self-sufficient. Oh, so by my name, I mean, I don't mind me, I may be talking some kind of ancient books around, but just flow with me. So if you are not getting, if you are not, let me just call out, if you are not getting what I'm actually trying to say, you may put it in the comment section, because as we are chatting in the comment section, I'm seeing it, so I'll be able to. And if you want me to go back to a particular slide, I will go back. Thank you. So it's not that you are limiting God, but it just means that you are being prudent with what you have so that you can be self-sufficient. So somebody says you don't grow big to manage well, you manage well to grow big. And it's very, very important for us to know that. So in this comment section, I want somebody on this page, I put prioritize needs, organize wants. Budget helps us to prioritize needs and organize wants. I want somebody for the sake of knowledge to put the meaning of needs and the meaning of wants in our comment section. Thank you for doing that. So budget helps you to forecast, right? And of course, it helps you to stay within a particular limit. So in budgeting, you should have what is called upper bound and lower bound, right? Upper bound for a particular either savings, a particular investment, a particular whatever, and lower bound for a particular whatever. So even a particular, especially for your income, you should have a lower bound to which you believe that you should not have less than this income in a particular year. I'm still expecting somebody should put in our chat box the meaning of wants and the meaning of needs. Thank you. So in a particular year in your budgeting plan, you should put a minimum, like it's like a stress testing for the accountants, stress testing when you are trying to test whether you can stay afloat in a particular period. So you should have a minimum to which you believe that you can never go lower, right? Once you are, whenever you are doing your budget helps you to take control. Somebody says, peace, thank you very much. You are just there. You are on top. Thank you very much. Peace says needs and necessity, and that is fantastic. You cannot live without needs. Your needs, they are necessity. Whether you now have money to, some people you can use money to buy needs. You can use relationship to buy needs. So a relationship is another. How you can turn relationship to money is another topic in its entirety, right? But needs are a lot of things. So you need to prioritize your needs whenever you are doing your budget. Your rent, you cannot say that you have 12 months to plan for you to pay rent, and you are still owing your landlord. As an accountant, an auditor, a financial person, or whether anybody that is any, you have 12 whole months. 12 whole months to prepare for your landlord, to pay your landlord. Your landlord depends on your rent too. It's a source of income to them. So you cannot owe your landlord because you have 12 months notice. You should prioritize your needs. You should prioritize your feeding. So you need to eat. You need to let your food to become your medicine, so as to avoid your medicine becoming your food. You need to eat right. You need to eat right. So these are needs. These are basic necessities of life. You need to prioritize them whenever you are doing budgeting. And one of the things that usually comes up after income in budgeting is savings, right? So Some people say that you should save at least 10% of your income. It depends on you. But what is savings, right? Savings is just that part of your income that you have now that you are putting aside. You just don't want to spend it. You have different means for it. One of the means is for liquidity. You just want to be, so you just want to have something around that you can call on. You want to be financially stable. It helps you to be, it's the basic thing that you need to do to becoming financially stable. It makes it to achieve a particular goal and of course to manage debt, right? So it helps you to manage debt. So there are a lot of things around savings, especially some people say you have to save like say 10% of your income. So me, I will say it depends on you, it depends on your needs, it depends on everything that is vying for your income. It depends on a lot of things. Say for instance, black tax, say expenditure, wealth, education, on some other stuff. So it depends on. So you can make sure that your savings may not necessarily be something that is very constant, right? It may not be 10% always. It may be 10% today, maybe 20% tomorrow. So take for example, where there was a time I was not in Lagos, I was living in Osun State. My rent was so small that even if they wake me up, I can easily pay my rent. It's less than it's less than say 20%. It's less than 40% of my monthly income. So I was saving close to say 50% of my income every month, right? So but now I'm in Lagos, I can't do that, right? So it now depends. However, you must save. It's the basic things you must do for you to be financially stable. So there are a lot of saving things. Even the very least is cooperative and credit union. You should have a savings bank account. You shouldn't have only one savings bank account. You should have as many as maybe 2, 3, depending on what you want to use it for. And you should not have only one bank account. Let me put it that way. You should have more than one bank account, right? And then you should now know how you want to segregate which one should go to savings, which one should be short-term savings, long-term savings, and which one should be targeted for a particular investment and something like that. So whenever you are doing savings, avoid greed and get rich quick schemes. Don't take your savings and go to CBES again. If you have gone to CBES before, now this is opportunity for you to start all over. Don't go back. Like the new song, I've never turned back. Don't ever turn back. Don't ever go back again. Don't go to again. So there are a lot of things we do savings around. We do savings for growth. Savings, you do it to repay some debts. You do it for education. You save towards personal development. Take for instance, I save towards becoming a chartered accountant. It's personal development. So when I got my job, and some of us on this course, is actually aware of this. I saved towards becoming to do for my induction. I saved. So that is it. It's personal development. So of course, savings can be for generosity. The best way to save is to do it automatically. You need to automate your savings. So don't make savings to be like let me collect my salary. After I collect my salary, I will take all this expenditure. After I've taken all this expenditure, then at the end of the day, I will now save what is remaining. No, you save first of all before you spend what is remaining. You save first, you spend what is remaining. That is how to cultivate an habit of savings. You guys, so this is what I do. I have some kind of savings that I know when I'm being paid, on that particular date, automatically, it's because it's standing order or standing instruction, you give it to your bank. They take money from your account and put it there in your savings. You may do your organization may have cooperative. You may organize your in your organization, you may organize cooperative and tell them that, okay, you want to be saving, so you want to be saving, maybe after, maybe it's just target saving for 1 year, and at the end of the year, you take the savings, you do it to, use it for whatever things you want to use it for. You tell your HR to deduct it from source before they send your money to bank. So they deduct it. Some people do that. So there is emergency savings. Just save because you know that this emergency savings, emergency savings will make you to have, say, 3 months worth of your salary. It is very, very good to have 3 months worth of your, say you are earning 100,000 per month. It is very okay for you to have 300,000 in a particular savings. I know it is not, it is very, very okay. It is very, very good for you to have 300,000 somewhere if you are earning 100,000 net to, of course, Nigeria, all your tax should be deducted upfront. So net, have 3 in a way, ensure that you have a savings that has risen up to 300,000. Because let's say, for instance, unwanted circumstances happen, like say a loss of job, at least you can easily enjoy your live on a particular level for the next 3 months before you get another job. And it takes 3 to 6 months in Nigeria to get a new job, especially if you are doing a white collar job. So you have to have a long-term savings. Like the other time that I was mentioning, savings, maybe you want to save for a whole year. So say you have a cooperative and you have saved for a whole year. Then at the end of the year, you can be thinking of investments. What and where can you put your money? Where and what can you put your money in? If you have a savings of 1 year, say for instance, you have been saving 10% of your income. You are earning 100,000 naira, for instance, and you have been saving 7%, that is 10,000 naira. At the end of the year, you have 120,000 naira. That 120,000 naira is your 1 month salary plus 20%. Say, let's say at first that saving does not have interest. Then what can you use 20,000 naira, 120,000 naira to do? It's not for you to go and blow for Christmas. So it's not for you. So there's a way to do that also. If you know that you want to spend money in Christmas, you can start saving for that. I do that. My money for Christmas, my money for blow is another savings. There are a lot of fintechs around. There are a lot of fintechs around that enables all piggy first carry wise. Even all these big banks like First Bank too does that target savings that you can say, okay, maybe it's for Ileya. You start from last year to this year to buy Rago. It's not, but you're not saving. You're not saying, let me do big boy. Let me pick for my savings. We go again next year. No. Savings is the basic thing that you must do to become financially stable. Don't save to go again next year. If you continue in a circle, it's called vicious circle. It's not virtuous circle. That is what is called virtuous circle and vicious circle. If somebody gets that, please, you can put the definition in the chat box. Thank you. Vicious, vicious, VICIOUS cycle, CYCLE, and virtuous circle, virtuous like virtue, cycle. So you can put the definition or the meaning inside the chat box. So investment is just a strategic approach. It's the next level of savings. So you need to, that is where you start growing your wealth. Now, I say in investing, what is comfortable is really profitable. It can never, if it is very comfortable for you, it is not profitable. See, Bessie was very comfortable. Some people are saying that it is high risk, higher income, higher return. That one, the risk is extremely is much more than the return. But of course, some people made money. And they are using police to chase them up and down right now. That have brought the learners are not police chasing them because they are the one that showed them the what was it called? Testimonial marketing. They did in the future. Yes. Then we have, so in investing, you need to understand something. So somebody also should help us to put difference between investing and gambling. Investing and gambling. So I want to ensure that some of us are following us. Investing and gambling. Thank you, Rachel Adeleke. So one bad event causes another bad event. So you save your money, you blow it, which is a bad event. You now cause another level of hardship of service again. At the end of the day, you still blow it. You are remaining a financially stable fellow. So thank you, Rachel Adeleke, for that. So we have all these concepts you need to understand: risk and return, diversification. You need to understand that in an investment, timing or time horizon is very, very important. So a lot of challenges that a lot of us face is that we want to get rich quick, right? It is not. Yeah, there are some exceptions to the rule, but more often than not, it is not so. And that is why we need to understand the beauty of compound interest. Compound interest, allow your money to grow exponentially over time. The beauty of compound interest. Take for instance, if I'm able to share my screen, the beauty of compound interest, I mean share another screen. Let me see which one is this. Let us check this calculator for compound interest, for instance. Let us check this calculator. Oh, it's not coming up the way I want it to come up. However, let me okay. So this calculator says you want to be saving monthly, for instance, or you want to be investing monthly. And say, for instance, you don't want to have any form of initial investment or initial amount, but you want to have, say, you want to be saving, say, 30,000 naira per month. Excuse me. And at worst, our savings in Nigeria is around, on average, let's say 8% per annum. But that is why I don't want to use savings. I want to use investments. So when we get to that investment part, time is fast spent. So, but let's say you just want to kukuma diju and save for 15 years. You don't want to touch it for 15 years. What should be your income? You have 10 million naira. Now somebody can do it for us and say 30,000 naira times 15. I mean, multiply by 15 and multiply by 12. How much will it give? You see that this amount, the amount that is a form of outflow from you will be very, very minimal compared to what we get in the future, right? And this 8% interest rate does not mean that the interest rate will not go up or will not go down or whatever. But let's say average of 8%. And if God's willing or whatever, we all plan, our inflation does not go up to eat up our interest rate, then we say at the end of the day, we have a positive a positive return, right? So it is very, very important for us to understand that time horizon is very, very important in investing, and compound interest, when your interest is any interest. When your interest, the beauty of compound interest is that it works with both your money and your time. So the sooner you start, the more you accumulate. You just need to start now. So you just know that you need to be, these are the things, these are the investment vehicles that you can consider. all these are investment cycle that you can consider. Our time is going really, really fast. I would like to show us. Somebody should put difference between gambling. Okay, I think somebody has put it there talking about investment is generally about growing wealth over time, while gambling is primarily about entertainment and chance of winning quick payoff. Kesta, thank you very much. I'm very sorry, I'm unable to pronounce your surname. I don't want to spoil your name. So Kesta is so very, very on point. Very, very on point. Thank you very much, Kesta. These are areas, these are the vehicles that you can drive to be financially stable. These are the vehicles that you can drive. You can drive real estate. Of course, we start from savings. After you have done your savings, you can look at shares. So I will advise you here when you want to look at shares, you look at companies that actually base in what people use every day. I don't want to start mentioning, but I don't want to mention, but let me say banks generally. What people use banks every day for a lot of things. You cannot do without banks, at least for now. I don't know about the future. So stock, mutual funds, a lot of things around mutual funds. I have a material from ABN Quest around mutual funds. That is exchange traded funds, real estate, savings account, of course. However, ensure in your organization that you have a retirement savings account. I forgot to mention it the other time. Ensure that your organization is remitting it. 2. The third one is that ensure that you are getting alert from your RSA, from your PFA, pension fund administrator, that you are getting alert. The fourth thing that you need to pay attention to is to look at how your money is growing. So if you can go online, you can see how these PFAs people rank from the most profitable to least profitable, or the most ROI given, or whatever PFA to the least. But you must ensure that your eyes must be wide open towards your RSA. It's one of those things that you can enjoy. So we have mutual funds, we have real estate. You need to be jack of all trades and master of all. So there are some funds that you can put your money in and you just forget. You don't really necessarily consume your time like mutual fund. You don't necessarily consume your time about it because there are professionals that are handling that. Real estate, it depends. Stock, you have to shine your eyes. CNBC, but in Nigeria, Channels TV, 10 a.m. Arise TV, between 10 and 11 or whatever, or maybe 11 or so, a.m. You must have all these stock brokers. I think First Security, they have from ABN Quest Security to First Security, they have another, I think AfriInvest have. All these people have application, mobile app that you can download, register on them, start buying shares from there. Look, one thing that I want you to know about shares is that after the 2008 issues that will make a lot of shares to crash, those shares actually stay reasonable for almost 10 years. They refuse to rise. After they were falling from 2008 to 2010. A lot of issues happen around that. Then from 2011, they refused to rise as it were. So I joined the stock whatever in 2015, and then it was very cool. It's not reasonable going up, but between 2021 after COVID, or let's say 2022, and now a lot of increase. It has been positive all the way. Positive. Even this year, a particular shares has done times 3. A particular company have done times 3 in capital appreciation. You get, if it is a value stock, you get dividend, you still get capital appreciation. That is the beauty of shares. You need to look. And of course, you need to look before Is it before you leap or you leap before you look? Either way. But you must be armed with information. So I want us to look at this. This is one of those ways to don't get your hands burnt, right? You are trying to look out for a way to amass weight, and this is one of those ways to guide against losing those weights. Insurance. You just have to have what is called insurable interest in whatever things you are insuring. Insurable interest that this thing belongs to you directly or somewhat indirectly, directly. Then indirectly, directly. Let me put it that way. But you have insurable interest in it. So taking insurance does not mean you are expecting bad things to happen, perils or whatever. It only means your worry when bad things happen. I took insurance on my car, of course, and then I was let me say I was forced to take insurance on my car also, comprehensive insurance, not third party. And I was coming from church on a Sunday. I was waiting for traffic lights, JJ, on Lagos Road, and a Marwa just came and removed my side mirror. Omo, wahala go sell for you. I went to meet the guy. He was begging me. Everybody was all this kind of stuff. They brought 2,000 naira on top. Side mirror, what's over 40,000 naira. He brought out 2,000 naira. Wahala. However, long story short, I made a request on my insurance. They pay. What if I don't have insurance? What if I don't have insurance? I will have done a lot of pocket. So there are two types of insurance majorly. There is what is called life insurance and non-life insurance. So we talk about life insurance. This insurance, you have seen a lot of, we have endowments, we have whole life, we have universal life insurance. I don't think this time, the way this time is running, I actually don't know that I'm going to spend up to, I want to show us one information. I don't know if I'll be able to, my screen is not allowing me to show my entire screen. Actually, I've been trying. I will have shown us some document the other time, but it's not allowing. I don't know why. So about this endowment insurance, I want to talk a bit. Combines life insurance with savings. Pay out a lump sum at the end of the policy term or upon the insured's death. So this endowment, Carl Weiss did an educational research on the other time. They said if you are sending your children to school from age whatever they start to age whatever they finish, but it's going to take 20 years, right? It's going to take 20 years. But they said that you'll be spending, but at the time they are entering university, which is around when they clock 15 to 16 years, you'll be spending, if you go to private school, you'll be spending around 30 something million for university. But however, you can start saving towards this thing now. And then you will not save the 30 million. You'll be saving, say, a particular, okay, there was a time I reached out to Leadway to know about this. Leadway says a particular sum is what I'll be saving every month. And then, say for instance, something we are not praying for bad, something bad, which is people, that's why people don't like to talk about insurance anyways. Something happened after the 6 months, you have been consistently paying your premium for that your particular child to go to school in a particular year. When the child closes that age, the insurance company will send that child to that particular school you want to send your child to. So endowment policies or something like education insurance or whatever, it's talking about whether you are alive or you are not alive. Your child is going to go to that school, but at that time that is going to that school, you will not spend much. you will not spend a dime because you have been diligent enough to put something aside for that your child to go to school. So health insurance, of course, whenever you are you have to do HMO. It is not easy to go to pharmacies, diagnostic center, or hospital these days. Insurance, do HMO. If your organization is not doing HMO, inquire HMO. Even your state government now are not clamoring for HMO. Also, state is doing HMO. Lagos State is doing HMO. I don't know about the state you are in. Do HMO. It is very, very cheap, especially if you have if you have toddlers, if you have children. Do HMO. Do homeowner or renters insurance. If you have your home, do homeowner insurance. If you have your, if you some of us that we rent an apartment, your belongings, insure them. You are the only one that you are being cautious about. You don't want fire to start in your house, but you don't know about your neighbor that you are sharing the same roof with. Insure your gadgets, insure your washing machine, your cooker, your everything. And whenever, for our mothers, whenever you are cooking in the kitchen, make sure you always turn the fry pan, the handle of the fry pan. Make sure you always turn it in to save your unnecessary expenditure. Travel insurance, whenever you are traveling, go for travel insurance. Let us look at debt. Now, I want to ask, is it good to borrow money? Anybody can answer in the group chat, in the chat box. Is it good to borrow money? Is it good to borrow money? You know, one scripture says that the borrower is a servant to the lender. True. But is it good to borrow money? So we say that, of course, debt analysis, we have positive, negative, we have opportunity, we have strength, we have threat, we have risk, we have weaknesses, especially to people to the borrower, risk of default. If you don't make your payments, it's a weakness to you. Interest payments, if you don't agree on a particular payment that will be favorable to you and the lender, it's a weakness. However, the positive side of debt is what? Is to leverage. Is to leverage. If you have an asset that you want to acquire, and then you don't have the full money, right? Now, you can borrow money to buy it. However, look at this weakness. Pay attention to this. It's also it has a tax benefit. It's a strength. It has a tax benefit, especially if you have your own company. If you are leading your organization, it has its own tax benefit. It helps business to grow. You can use your debt to invest, especially when your debt is very low, especially if you are working in an organization that is offering you single-digit interest rate debt. You should go for it, but go for it responsibly. So don't go to this. Don't go to this. Don't go to this to learn, to borrow. Predatory lenders, they offer high interest, but they always come at you every time. Whenever you open your YouTube, open this, always understand your interest environment whenever you are borrowing. Always, 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 always. But it is good to borrow responsibly if you want to borrow. But ensure you avoid unnecessary debts. Ensure you avoid unnecessary debts. So, richest man in Babylon talking about how you can get away of debt, especially if you want to manage your debt. You are in debt right now. You should have a way of negotiating your debt, working with creditors to reduce the interest payment or to do a staggered payment. In Nigeria, they don't usually do to reduce capital amount owed, principal payments. No, interest. You can negotiate your interest out. You can negotiate your interest. But this, you don't negotiate your this. Debt cancelling. Seek a professional to cancel you on your debts. If you are a perpetual borrower, please reduce your debt. If you are a perpetual borrower, it means that you have a bad habit at controlling your expenditure. Especially if you are having what is called bad debts. what's it called, about debt. So you need budgeting expertise. You need to improve on your budgeting skills. You need to increase your income to reduce your budget. I mean, to reduce your debt. So you need to look for a way out, right? And that is why, for you to manage your debt, you have to determine your total debt, especially if you fall into way of total debt. Then you have to allocate your funds wisely. You need to consistently make regular payments. Regular. Must be consistent for you to get out of debt. It must be consistent. And that is when people, the lender will actually take you serious that you want to get out of your debt actually. You need to continually make consistent payments. Now when you are paying your debt, don't forget to save, because when you finish paying your debt, what are you going to fall back to? So it's not that after you pay your debt, you don't have anything left. No. Consistently save, whether it is Toro Kobo, consistently. Then you adjust your need. Adjust your need. Adjust your need. Adjust your need. Household security. Avoid unnecessary household or home accidents, domestic accidents. That is what I want to remember. Avoid unnecessary domestic. That was why I said that you should always, especially from the kitchen, avoid unnecessary accidents in the kitchen, right? Avoid that. Avoid that. So that one to reduce your debt. So these are two approaches to manage your debt. Number one thing is that, of course, you have itemized all your debts. Check for which one has the minimum balance. This is for snowball. There is snowball method. Which one has the smallest balance? Pay that one first. That one will give you small wins. But eventually, at the end of the day, I don't encourage this. I encourage the one that has highest interest rate first to pay. By so doing, you pay lower amounts. Focus on the high interest rate debt first. And of course, you can pay a bit of the lower interest rate debt. However, the one that has high interest rate, focus on tackle them first. Tackle them first. At the end of the day, you will see that if you do this, you pay lower debt. Consistency is the key. Whatsoever you are doing, even in life generally, consistency is the key. Whatsoever you are doing, whether you are investing, whether you are saving, whether you are paying back your debt, consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. So I want to go through this estate planning. So you have your money, you have saved, you have invested. So you have real estate, you have investments, you have what have you, all of them. You need to plan your estate. So a lot of people believe that whenever you are planning your estate, it's as if you are planning to die. You are not planning to die. You are living well. You are planning to live well. You are planning to live well. And when you go, you are planning order for your family, for people that you will leave behind. Who everybody needs to plan, not whether you are a woman, you are a man, or whatever. Everyone needs to plan. You protect your loved ones. That is your will or living trust. You avoid some kind of risk and danger. Of course, even estate planning go as far as adulting. That is medical emergency advanced healthcare directive. There are sometimes that even some people will not be able to talk again, but they have put it in their plan, in their trust, that whenever I'm unable to talk, this needs to be taken care of. I'm going to this hospital, I should be flown to abroad to be taken care of. I should be in this home or whatever. You need to plan. You need to plan. Estate planning makes you to avoid disability risk. That is what is called power of attorney. Whenever you are incapacitated of taking care of ordering your affairs, who do you think can help you to order your affairs? Without your children, your wife, or anybody fighting over whatever, who do you think can order, can help you to put order in your affairs? It could be an organization, which is trustee, and it could be an individual. But you need to outline them now. That is why you need estate planning is very, very key. It's very, very key. So, wow. Estate planning is the process of preparing tasks that serve to one, manage your assets, then you protect your loved ones, then you minimize taxes and legal complications. Have you ever seen? I've worked in a bank. I mean, I've worked in banks, so I'm working in banks. So I've seen. Let me. This is what I actually wanted to say. I've seen where people are fighting towards the balances of a diseased person, the account balance of a diseased person. A family is fighting. Forget what is a particular thing that is going on in the media now about a particular person that people are fighting over. Is estate. But this one I have seen. And again, if somebody does not have what is called will or whatever, that person died or dies intestate. It takes a lot of wala, a lot of up and down, to get it done, to get everything, to get help in this way, to get everything that the person has worked for to be shared amongst whosoever wants to be shared amongst, right? Like, and it's costly. It's costly. Banks will remove its own, court will remove its own, legal will remove its own, then you pay tax on whatever. But if the person have will, then you have saved your loved one a lot of stress. You have saved them even the fights, unnecessary fights. Of course, you know some people, but trust too. Trust can help you to manage your phone for your children and loved ones. It's used for privacy and tax efficiency. The power of attorney is okay. Look, there is difference between next of kin and the next of the eventual beneficiary of whatever things you have in the bank. So, say you are filling a form and they say that you put a next of kin. Next of kin is like a emergency contact. Say if anything happens to you now, who should we call? Who can we put a call through to announce whatever things that happen to you to the person? Is next of kin. It doesn't hold water. Say you want to maybe I could have next of kin, so I don't need to do we. It's a lie. You need a we. Next of kin has no claim on your account. So I'm using my wife to do next of kin. So husband and wife are fighting that you don't use me as next of kin. More. That does not bring money from somebody's account to you. Please let us take that. Next of kin does not say that you have access to that person's account or that person's wealth or property. It only means that if you want to contact the person and we are unable to contact the person, you need to contact somebody that is very close to the person, they will contact you. So it doesn't mean that you are entitled to the person's whatever. So beneficiary designation, this is what is needed instead of next of kin, especially life insurance, retirement funds. You need to choose somebody. It's not a next of kin. Choose somebody. It's not a next of kin. Choose somebody that's will inherit it. So when to start? Anybody can start, but now is the time to start. If you own a property, have children or dependents, have savings, investment, insurance, and you are growing older, or you have health challenges, you have to start. You have to put your house in order. And you need to update it regularly, especially when there's a marriage, divorce, adoption, birth, inheritance. If you have inheritance, if you start a business, even if you are relocating, from state to state, from country to country, you have to your estate planning. You have to update your estate planning. You have to, and again, after you might have done this, you need to educate your family members. As a woman, as a man, as a family man, if you're in a family, you need to educate your people. Don't say, I want to be financially literate. I want to be financially stable. I want to be financially secure. Now I'm financially literate. In this house, it is the amount that I put down that you all work by. No, communicate, educate them. When you communicate, it increases transparency around finances. Communicate. Sometimes, I don't know, family, whatever, but I will love to say it is good, but it is not necessary. It is beneficial, but it is not lawful for you to declare as a woman, as a man, your earnings, so as for everybody to be transparent, accountable, and to budget around it. Always involve your family member in budget and planning. You must do it whether monthly or annually. You must discuss financial values. As a family man, you must discuss around giving contentment. Contentment is not that as a woman, you saw that your friends are taking their children to Valencia school in Ibadan or Ibadan International School or this high-end school, and you want your husband to take your children to the same school. No. You have to learn, all of you as a family, you have to discuss contentment, discuss moderation, and always discuss, as a family, you need to be grateful for everything that you have. Now, budget your giving. Me, I say, whatsoever you earn as an individual or as a family or as a business, 10% is not for you. It is for this. The 90% is for your budget, is what you budget on. This is my own principle. 10% of whatsoever you earn, whether transitory, whether fixed, whether variable, 10% of whatsoever you earn is for this. You need to give back to the society. Discuss that as a family. You need to go give to the society, give to your neighbor, give to your religious center, give to your country, give in whatever form. But me, at the minimum, 10% of whatsoever you earn. You may decide to stay at 10%. You may decide to go above 10%. So, as a household, you must discuss income, expenses, debt, liability, savings goals. You must discuss around even vacation, college, discuss around emergency, discuss retirement. Wait, yeah, I remember this. Baby boomers or Generation X, I think I'm millennial or whatever. Generation Y, X, they are working and they worked. Some worked and some are working for their children and for their parents. So their parents make them as a retirement plan. Now, the mistake that Generation X, Generation Y before us, we are Generation Z or millennial, before us, the mistake that you make is to make us your retirement plan. If you make us your retirement plan, I'm very sorry, you'll be disappointed. subsidy is gone. Subsidy is gone, right? Because the kind of challenges that is facing us, right, that is facing everybody generally. Some of us don't have the, say, emotional intelligence to face that kind of challenges. All of us are asking. Generation Z, I am not talking about the next generation that are playing with phones. Generation Z are asking how you guys did it. If you are generation X, Y, baby boomers, whatever, on this call, I salute you. We are asking how you did it. The mistake that you will not make, that I don't want you to make, is to make us your retirement plan. Don't make us your, that is why you need to now begin to look around your investment, around your RSA, retirement savings account, around your real estate, which one you can turn over to get a rental income. Start looking at your vehicle that is just stationary, that you are not using. What can you use it for? So all those things. Look at your home. What can you turn to income that you make? So if anything that is coming as a form of black tax that is coming from your children, quotes, I don't know more, but in quotes, should be an addendum to you. Should be an added advantage. It shouldn't be the primary source of income. So Generation Z, the next generation going forward, plan your future. Plan your future. Plan your future. You start now. You have a long time ahead of you. You have a long time ahead of you. And one of the best ways to plan your future is to start investing. And when you start investing, you start now. And then, of course, and then thankfully, you are in this class, and this has opened your eyes to some things. So this is mutual fund I was trying to talk about. This is a particular organization. Look at mutual fund. So these are the type of mutual fund it's talking about. We have stock equity mutual funds. So if you don't want to do stock by yourself, you can employ professionals to do it. You don't have time to be reading news and following up. Employ this professional. This one is first, what is the name now? ABN Quest, yeah. You can employ them. Bond or fixed income mutual fund, money market mutual fund, multi-asset mutual fund. This one is, we help you to diversify. See, it's diversifying your investment. This one is diversifying your investment. You can, so if you don't have time to do stock, you don't have time to do real estate trust, you don't have time to go to bond market to do your market by yourself. This is the stress-free place or type of investment that you can invest in. So it actually aligns with your long-term goal. It aligns with your medium-term goal. It aligns with your short-term goal. It all depends on you. What is your goal? What is your goal? If I were you, I will have both long-term, medium-term, and short-term goal. Every family needs to have, where do we see ourselves in the next 30 years, in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years? Cash is king. You need to have some cash at hand. And that is why you can't put your money on all your money in the investment. You need to have savings accounts. So this is how the risk is being rated, right? This one is cash, low risk, but low income too. Excuse me. Money markets, security. That this, of course, mutual fund is here too. Bonds, mutual fund is here too. Equity, of course. So alternative investments is when you are investing in gold, investing in real estate, and the likes. So it's very capital intensive. And of course, there is what is a particular self-regulating also. I think FS commodity that is dealing with you want to, if you want to deal in investment in commodities like gold, like rice, like sorghum, sesame, or whatever, all those ones, international, all these international commodities, there's a company that you can check online whereby you can invest in. So as Gen Z, please start now. As our parents, please look around you. What you think can bring more income to you, and then start checking your portfolio, your retirement savings account, your savings or fixed deposit. Itemize, highlight all your portfolio. Look and look well. Check and check well. Take inventory, and then try to secure whatever you need to secure. The way that endure is that which is well protected. That is the core message. Build strong financial walls through savings, insurance, wise spending, and prudent planning, so you can withstand any financial storm. I really appreciate you for your time and for listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Damilare Fadiran. That has been an exceptional delivery. Of course, we expect nothing less from you, having known your pedigree. Once again, we appreciate you for taking time to give us an expose on personal finance. I'm not sure if my colleague Tunji Adeshoko is on this call. Tunji, are you there? Okay, while I'm waiting for Tunji to moderate the Q&A session,
you can go ahead.
Some of the key insights. Okay. Some of the key insights that Damilare has opened our eyes to see this evening, of course, was to open with an icebreaker that personal finance is not limited to budgeting or savings. You know, there's quite a whole lot that is bundled into personal finance. You know, of course, when you mention personal finance, what majority want to summarize it into was how accountants have come again. They want to start telling us about budgets and whatnot. So he has been able to do justice to that. He made mention during the course of the delivery that income is a variable and that it is the fulcrum that every other thing depends on. The extent to which you're able to attract income determines the extent to which you can splurge, if I may use that word. The size of your inflow will determine the many channels that your funds can really attend to. He made example of the income being like an inverted funnel, whereby just the stream of it's coming through a narrow channel, but the exit point is wide open, like a public tap. So which summarizes the reality for majority of us on this call. The income it comes in at a very thin flow rate, but the way it goes out, what you have worked for a whole month, you'll be surprised that within 30 minutes of receiving the alert, whatever you receive anyway, within 30 minutes of receiving it, you are done. You are waiting for the next cycle. So while the session was going on, he dropped some nuggets, which I've been able to note. He mentioned that anything that adjusts to inflation is an asset. There have been raging debates over time that a vehicle is a liability. No, some people will argue against, some people will argue for. That no, why would a vehicle that keeps consuming your finances, why would it be an asset? Well, we have read from the horse's mouth this afternoon. The VAT, he used a very, 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 very significant example. You have purchased a vehicle just last year. Somebody bought a vehicle that I know of. Nigerian used vehicle, bought it for just a modest vehicle, 2 million naira last year. Nigerian used. Fast forward to 2025. The same Nigerian used vehicle is going for 3.94 million naira. Then you begin to wonder what exactly is happening. What exactly is happening? So if you're out there and you're still wondering, on what side of the divide does your vehicle lie? Your vehicle is an asset. The earlier you start taking care of that vehicle, the better for you. He also dropped another nugget. He mentioned that money is a current. it flows. And at the moment that current stops flowing, that is the point on that chart where we begin to say, oh, I'm broke, because your money is not flowing. Do you get? So let's make judicious use of our current, if I may put it that way. He also mentioned that we should save first and spend what is left. It's always interesting when you are trying to draw a budget. For those who have had the privilege of attending personal finance masterclasses in the past, we are always taught, of course, as professional accountants, top of the line when you are drawing your budget, the first thing that should come up there is your savings. After you must have saved, then start channeling the remainder into whatever can be accommodated at the time. Do you get? The goal is not really to really satisfy or gratify ourselves. It's just to, okay, let's pay attention to tomorrow first, then we can start attending to what is in the immediate. What else do I have? And it also mentions that while we are saving, a very, very good avenue that we can make use of is a cooperative, a channel whereby the money will not even come into our own coffer. Because whether we like to admit or not, quite a number of us struggle as that altar, that the moment some funds come into our custody, there are so many issues on ground. Your own immediate issue is there. If you're a family person, your family's responsibilities are there. The extended family, there's something we call the black tax. You guys, there's your parents on one hand, your siblings, you want to fulfill responsibilities. Do you get? The whole burden is just so much. You mentioned some of the common challenges that we have, especially in Nigeria of today. You mentioned hyperinflation. I'm sure, I don't know if there are people, if there are Nigerians out there who do not understand what inflation means anymore because of where we have found ourselves. Everybody can at a glance summarize what inflation is. So you mentioned currency depreciation. Everybody is not talking about dollar rates. Even to the items that are not driven by the currency exchange, dollar is still affecting them. And you also mentioned mindset, which is a very, very key factor. The external factors we may not be able to control, then the ones that are within our own control, you get, we should be able to adjust and make amends where need be. Without taking much of our time with the summary, I'd like to encourage us, if we have questions and answers, kindly signify by raising your hand. If you have questions and answers, kindly indicate by raising up your hands. Question and answers, please. Is anyone there with a question and answer? While we're waiting for the questions and answers to come in, I'd like to announce to us of our technical session that is coming up in the month of June 2025. The session is about scaling up your business. It's a good thing that our eyes have been opened today, that we should have some other thing that we can do by the side to attract income. So that session in June will center around how to scale up businesses. Maybe quite a number of us already, we're already brainstorming on what we can do, or we have already started something by the side. So that session will be looking at how we can use accounting processes to scale up that business. That session is not going to be a free one. However, it's just charging the token, at least just to cover costs and what have you. The session is going for a discounted rate of 10,000 naira. 1,000 naira. So but immediately after this session is concluded, we'll start the promotion for that technical session. Once again, the session is themed scaling up your business, implementing accounting processes. We have facilitators, key facilitators. We have Mr. Adelabu from Flutterwave Incorporated. We have a technical expert from the UK, that's Mr. Femi Adedeji. We have somebody who's coming to speak to us on Zoho Books. That's accounting software. And also we have Mr. Jesu Rinde. He's based in Nigeria. He's an IT expert who is also coming to us on that day. That session will be loaded. I want to encourage you. The links to our social media platforms have been shared in the comment section. Kindly like and follow our Facebook page. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube so that you can be notified when these webinars will be coming up in June. Yes, if you're out there and you're wondering how would you get the resources for this session, quite a number of us would have been asking, how do we get the slides? Please, when you're asking your questions, we need not mention or we need not ask, how do we get the slides or how do we get the recording of the session? And we're happy to announce that all our sessions are hosted on our YouTube page. So before the week runs out, we would have received the recording, and of course, we would upload it on our YouTube page. You will be notified when we do that because we would always send an email to you to let you know that the session has been uploaded on YouTube. And of course, it comes along with the slides that Mr. Damilare Fadiran has used this afternoon. So once again, to kindly keep tabs on our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube pages. There's a lot more to unpack. At the moment, we have quite a number of useful resources on our YouTube page. All the technical sessions that we have had in the past, very, very, very insightful ones. They are up there at your own convenience. You can go there, learn, and make it a point of duty to implement everything that you have learned. Thank you. Do we have questions? I'm not sure. I see hands that are raised. Questions. I can't seem to find anyone who has a question. Is it that the session was broken down into bits and we have been able to digest it, or we are shy to come forward to the microphone and ask our question? Which one is it? Okay, Mr. Damilare, I have a question. While we're waiting for more people to ask theirs, it's in respect to with respect to household finance and how quickly we tend to lose control of the finance. When you're talking about budgeting, people always want to believe that our accountants want to do here. Accountants have come again, budgeting this, budgeting that. That's no, they don't want any of that. Some people are of the opinion, or should I say opinion, some people don't want to see the reality. They can already feel that indeed financially I'm bleeding, but they don't want to see the reality in black and white. How do we manage that kind of a situation? And this labeling that comes to accountants all the time, when you mention budgeting, everybody is up in arms. It's as if they are waiting for you. They're already on the defensive. Accountants, they have come again. Is it budgets that we are consuming in Nigeria today? I remember at a program, was it this year or last year? It was a church program, and I stood up and I mentioned something about budgets. Everybody was up in arms. Accountants, they have come. Please don't bring that one here. Is there anybody that can say that they are living on budget? And I was laughing at, regardless of how you choose to put it, you cannot run away. Budget is just like your plan in financial terms. So if there are people out there, how do we disabuse their minds, or how do we disarm them? How do we disarm them such that they do not inflict further harms on themselves? That's number one. Then number two, there are quite a few people with the wrong perception about how cooperatives, how they can really be of help. Number one, there's already a category of people who don't believe in borrowing. I don't know, maybe it's a religious thing or what. They believe it's a crime. They don't want to borrow. They have been promised of abundance. They don't want to go out of their way to borrow. So some out there who believe that if you keep your money in cooperative without taking loans, you are doing yourself a disfavor. Is it true that they are doing themselves a disfavor? Those are the two questions I have, Mr. Damilare.
Thank you very much, sir. It is it is common. It is common. Even myself, I recently, when I was faced with reality, I started budgeting, say 2 years now. When I was faced with reality, I believe my budget is in my head. So because I was very prudent, and actually it was due to my environment, because that environment I had very low expenses. So I can calculate what and what I'm spending my money on. And then I was not really married. So I was not committed in any relationship. So it is me myself, it is I me myself. So of course send money home and the like. So it is not really. So number one thing is you need to just sit down, just think for a while and take inventory. I just take inventory. Don't start budgeting. Just take inventory. What are the things that are giving you income? Just take inventory. And once you take inventory of your income, and then you just all of a sudden you just see that I don't know whether I shared a particular so that saying that the kind of people, the kind of money we are earning, all of a sudden you just see that you are earning this much, but you are left with this little. That is false reality that will come to you. I don't need you to go to take inventory of where your monies are going. Take inventory of the kind of income that are coming in. Whether you have side hustle, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you're a salary earner and with a side hustle, or purely a salary earner, paycheck to paycheck, just take inventory. You see that a lot of people are earning so much and doing so little with it. So when they take inventory, you now see that, wow, they are missing out. Then after that, now take inventory of where your monies are going. Now, one of those areas that where our monies are going is that in Nigeria we don't even pay tax actually, but we don't know even when we pay tax, except for personal income tax that we pay. The other tax we don't know. Okay, even a lot of us don't know that we pay withholding tax, even our interest on savings, as small as that. The next tax that people don't know that we pay, they are just saying in the news, VAT. So people don't know that they pay VAT. Say for instance, you are in Lagos, you are buying food, or you are in Badon, for instance, and you are going to restaurants, and they just tell you so amount is OB. Eventually you begin to see that when you see the calculation, you see VAT, you see in Lagos, you see sales consumption tax. At the end of the day, when you go buy something like 10,000 naira, you are paying around 12.5. Is it? Yeah, around that. So you begin to see that you are giving your money to government unknowingly, something you can do by yourself. You are giving your money to government, right? And then you are even wasting your time, because before you go to those restaurants, is that you take bike, you take bus, you drive yourself to the place. And some of us are doing it on a constant basis. So when you take inventory of where your monies are going, you begin to see that you are consuming to consume. You are giving unnecessary money to government when you can go to the market and buy groceries and cookies, or even if you hire a cook, it won't take as much as the kind of cost that you have undergone, right? So I believe that if you take inventory of your income, first of all, and then have a rethink of what your income, where your incomes are going, and take inventory of your expenditure, you begin to see that you are supposed to start budgeting. And the only way you can curb waste is through budget. And even God does not like a waster. And that is why he gives food to the eater and bread and the seed to the sower. and not the other way around. If you know that, if he knows that he wants to eat the seed, he will not give you the seed, he will give you bread, right? And if you are being given bread, it means that you only be looking up to God every day for bread. But if you are being given seed, it means that once you plant, you don't need to be looking for God. You only need to pray once and say, God, bless my seed and make it multiply. And that is why savings, investments, what have you, are very much important. So the next one, like onto it, is that borrowing. Number one thing is that basically me, I saw cooperative as a means of savings, as a means of automating my savings. So I don't even, first of all, add this opportunity, this mindset of borrowing from a cooperative. I just like, okay, let me start savings by putting it in cooperative. Cooperative does not necessarily mean that you are going to earn interest monthly the way savings account is, but there are a lot of like minds in cooperative. It is one, the network. It is not even about the money. It is the network. The people, especially when you go for AGMs. I like AGM. I like meeting people. Especially when you go for AGMs, you see people like minds. People talk about how they manage their investment and how they manage their money in cooperative. And you begin to listen to them to learn from the elders table. That is from the experts. Two, there are some religious cooperative. I have a friend that is a Muslim, and because they don't charge interest, so they have a cooperative, right? And then they are doing well. And I don't know, of course, they even lend the money to themselves, times 3 of what they have contributed, and they pay dividend. My cooperative, for instance, pays me dividend. For my share capital, pays me dividend for my contribution and give me souvenir every year. So I'm just saving my. If you see a cooperative as a way of having some kind of long-term investment that will not yield anything, anyways, let me put it that way, that will not really yield anything, but can serve as an asset for you to get a liability that will turn to an asset. What do I mean by that? So somebody says you need, whenever you have an asset, you need to sweat an asset. So that is, if somebody has a house now, for instance, the person can go to the bank and say, I have a house, so borrow me so amount. This is the book. This is the paper for the house. And the bank say, okay, is this house worth 120% or 130% of the amount you are earning? You want to borrow? Say yes, and they give you the money. So in cooperative, you don't need to come with a particular, just come with your signature saying, I have a particular contribution. Say I have 1 million contribution. Borrow me the 1 million, or borrow me times 2 of the 1 million, or in some cases, some cooperatives say borrow me times 3 of the 1 million at a single digit interest rate. That is why cooperative is very, very okay, right, for them. So in the Muslim or religious inclined cooperative, they know how to go about it. Right? I have a friend that I'm into Islam, but it is very okay. Now, why is loan? That was why I asked that question: is loan good or bad? Is debt good or bad? If you have a debt and you are using it to do an investment that will pay you back, that will pay back the loan, is a good loan. Say, or if you borrow money to buy to buy something that we appreciate, that we adjust to inflation, it is a good deal. And again, good loan in this our environment now is a loan that has fixed interest rates, and that is where, like cooperative, like your employer's loan, is very okay. If you are working in an environment that your employer give you loan at a single interest rate and it's very fixed, where you are living in a country, at least for now, that everything is increasing every day, then it is okay for you if you have a genuine reason to take the loan. And if you have a genuine asset to invest in, it's very okay for you to buy the loan rather than taking all your investment that was supposed to have been. Say, for instance, you have 4 million. Let me break it down in this way. You have 1 million in investments. In savings, 1 million in savings, and you want to buy a car. Let's say the car is 1 million. And you also have access to 1 million naira loan from your cooperative of your employer, for instance. I'm not even talking about going to bank or going to other location. And this interest on this loan is a fixed interest, let's say it's 9%, for instance. So, and your savings account is earning 8%, for instance, or if you put it into another investment, can be earning up to 10%. Why not borrow that on 1 million naira from cooperative, from your employer, and use the interest rate that your savings will be generating to be paying the interest of the loan that you borrow. And it now means that you can have your cake and still eat it. So you have a car and you still have 1 million. Although you are owing 1 million, that 1 million naira, you can pay it back in 1 month, in 1 year.
Mr. Damilare, are you there? Mr. Damilare. Am I audible? Anyone?
I'm very sorry, my system threw me out. So you can pay back that money within the next 1 year, and at the end of the day, you have your 1 million naira savings, and then you will pay back your money even from your salary, and then even the interest that is you are earning interest from your savings, and you still have the vehicle. So that is why I was saying when you order the debt management, that whenever you are even paying back your debt, you have to still be saving, because at the end of the day, you still need something to fall back to. So, and that is why now currently in the country there are a lot of buy now pay later. Although some of them can be predatory, while some of them are genuine. So I think loan is good when you are actually using it to buy assets and to improve yourself, and not to consume or not to put it on liability. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Damilare, for doing justice to those questions. In the absence of further questions, and before I bring forward our Vice Chairman, Mr. Patterson Ariel Mudrigo. Oh, okay. There's a Mr. Blessing Odetokun, do you have a question? I saw your hand briefly.
Yeah, sorry, I thought we were running up already. So my own is not more of a question, it's just an addition or something getting closer to a question. First of all, I want to thank our facilitator for a job well done. So I want to ask about the discipline aspect of savings and investment itself. There are some times we want to do it. There have been several times we've had things like this and we are encouraged to do it. They've told us the good and the good part of it. So when somebody is having these discipline issues, for example, you have a lot of expense to attend to. There are expenses, there are important ones too. But now you want to save, you want to invest. But the discipline is not there. You like prioritizing the ones that want to come first and the one that need to wait. So I need you to give us, like, when we meet ourselves in this kind of dilemma now, how best can we approach it so that we can have a better financing and not just be stranded at the point. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I use myself as an example, and I actually put it one way or the other in the slide. So when I came to Lagos, of course, when I was living up country, I was enjoying myself, saving. It wasn't a big deal for me. It was so easy because my expenses were very much. When I came to Lagos, it skyrocketed. My spending, skyrocketed. Now, I want us to take note of one law. That's what is called Parkinson law. You know, there is a Parkinson disease. There is also a Parkinson law. It means that no matter the amount of income that comes to you, your expenditure will always rise to meet it. No matter the amount of income. If you are earning 100,000 naira today, you will have an expenditure that match 100,000 naira. So if you're all of a sudden your income rises to 1 million naira, you will have expenditure, your expenses will also rise almost immediately to 1 million naira. And that is practicing law. Now, number one thing is to automate your savings. In order for you to have discipline, automate your savings. Just is either you automate it through cooperative, you automate it through standing order, you sometimes you create some kind of target savings. All these fintechs and even banks, because I use First Bank, I know First Bank, they have it on their app whereby you can do target savings. Put the dates that your income usually come. If you have a stable date, some organizations don't have a stable date. Say your income always comes on the 25th of the month. Put it on the 25th of the month at exactly 6 p.m. By 6 p.m. your income should have come. And I believe that by 6 p.m. you wouldn't have taken all your money from your account. Put it there that should debit your account. By 6 p.m., that money slips your account to a particular account. Now, if you are saving in a bank, don't have an agreement with your bank that they should remove that particular bank account from your mobile app so that you will not be tempted to transfer it out. Or they should put a post no debit on that account so that you will not be tempted to debit your account. 2, don't have ATM on their accounts. Even if you have ATM, just put post no debit. Just go to the bank, write an instruction, tell them to put post no debit on that particular account. And just automate your savings and put a post no debit on that particular account. Or you can give them instruction to until a particular date whereby you can move it to investments. Then I believe that way you have conquered yourself. But always remember that save first, spend the remaining. Thank you.